Now, I want to begin by saying that the purpose of this video is not to lash out against Christianity. Rather, it's to show how the ultra-totalitarian party Ingsoc in George Orwell's novel 1984 is sort of a corrupted version of Christianity. So, isn't it a bit far-fetched to compare Ingsoc to a religion? Not at all, actually. In the novel, inner party member O'Brien states that, I quote, "We are the priests of power. God is power." As we shall see, there are some profound similarities between Ingsoc and Christianity. Obviously, Big Brother is the god of this church of power. He may or may not exist, but party members are expected to never question his existence. Just like a god, Big Brother is infallible. Every single mistake he makes is corrected in the ministry of truth. He's also like a god in the respect that nothing escapes his gaze, not even one's thoughts. Furthermore, he's ascribed almost godlike powers as a leader, ideologue, and strategist. He's superior in every respect. Perhaps most importantly, he both screens and saves Oceania's citizens from evil. As it's written in the novel, I quote, "Winston Smith wandered round the base of the enormous fluted column, at the top of which Big Brother's statue gazed southward towards the skies where he had vanquished the Eurasian aeroplanes, the East Asian aeroplanes it had been a few years ago, in the Battle of Airstrip 1. Just as obviously, Goldstein is the devil of the Church of Ingsoc. Just like Satan once lived in heaven, Goldstein was an Ingsoc member. They have both fallen from grace. Goldstein is ever present, and everything can be blamed on him. As it said in the novel, I quote, "All subsequent crimes against the party, all treacheries, acts of sabotage, heresies, deviations, sprang directly out of his teaching. Where the devil commands fallen angels and demons, Goldstein commands agents and saboteurs. In the novel, it's even said that Goldstein has, I quote, an underground army. He's the personification of evil, which manifests itself as dissidence and resistance. Where the devil tempts believers to sin, Goldstein tempts party members to commit thought crime. They must choose between Big Brother and Goldstein, just as Christians must choose between God and the devil." The clergy of the Church of Ingsoc is, of course, the inner party. Just like priests interpret the will of God, inner party members interpret the will of Big Brother, and their interpretations are not questions. They lead the herd that is the outer party and teach their sheep how not to sin. Outer party members confess their sins to the priests of power on the blood-stained floors of the Ministry of Love. Inner party members also wear black clothes like Christian priests do and live in luxury like medieval priests did. Ingsoc doesn't seem to have any definitive ideological document that could be an equivalent to the Bible. The reason is probably that the inner party wants to shape society as they see fit without being hindered by ideological restrictions. However, there's the Newspeak dictionary. It doesn't only dictate how the new words should be used, but it also dictates how party members should think by presenting concepts like good think, old think, and crime think. On the other side of the spectrum, there's the theory and practice of oligarchical collectivism, which could be called the Satanic Bible of Oceania. Interestingly, it's nevertheless the closest to an Ingsoc Bible there is, as it describes the ideological mechanisms behind Oceania's society. The 2-minute hates are religious in nature too. They are basically like Christian revival meetings. Where Christians expel Satan and seek salvation, Ingsoc members condemn Goldstein and seek power. The latter's gospel is power for the sake of power. At 2-minute hates, party members get to let off steam, get their beliefs confirmed, and get an opportunity to display their fanaticism. It's a violent and distorted kind of catharsis. Furthermore, Ingsoc has its own Inquisition. Just like the Inquisition rooted out heretics, the thought police root out dissidents. Just like the Inquisition forced confessions of collaboration with Satan out of heretics before they were burnt at the stakes, the thought police force confessions of collaboration with Goldstein out of dissidents before they are shot in the back of the head. Confessions are not enough, though. Heretics and dissidents alike must not only relent, but show that they are cured from evil and dissidence respectively. They must show that they love God and Big Brother before they die. Just like Christianity, totalitarian parties have martyrs, and Ingsoc is no exception. No doubt Ingsoc reveres fallen comrades from the days of the revolution. There are probably no post-revolution martyrs, as Ingsoc must have eradicated all its enemies after the party seized power. However, it reveres soldiers who have fallen fighting for Oceania, with Winston Smith's creation Comrade Ogilvy as an example. They have all lived for the party and died for the party, and they are the saints of the Church of Ingsoc. Contrary to Christian saints, they may cease to exist in history if their stories for some reason don't fit Ingsoc's narrative anymore, though. The very power structure of the party resembles Christianity, more precisely the Catholic Church. In the Catholic Church, power is never inherited but earned through piety, adaptability, competence, and machinations. This is evidently efficient because the Catholic Church has stayed intact for more than 1.5 millennia by now, and there are no signs that it's in decline. Similarly, in Ingsoc, power is never inherited but earned through fanaticism, conformism, zeal, and ruthlessness. Something which may or may not contribute to the longevity of the party is the constant culling of party members, that is to say, the many purges and executions. Theoretically, the party may exist for millennia, just like O'Brien says in the novel. Ingsoc is also monastic in nature. Just like congregations of monks and nuns, Ingsoc cadres are homogeneous. Members dress the same, share the same beliefs, use the same jargon, behave the same, and even think the same. As Winston Smith writes, "To the future or to the past, to a time when thought is free, when men are different from one another." Outer party members also live almost ascetic lives with plain clothes, meager rations, and run-down apartments, so Spartan that they almost resemble cells. Indeed, outer party members are the monks and nuns of power. So, that's my analysis. If you agree or disagree with it, let me know in the comments. See you in dystopia.